Hey, it's your friend Joe CJ here, and I'm coming to you guys with my team builder for week 2 of the MPL. We had a very exciting week 1 going up against my good pal Omega Jolteon. If you missed that match, go check it out. It was a nail biter, and make sure you go check out his side as well. If you want to find his link, it is down in the description, along with the links for all of our coaches for MPL Season 6. And so, yeah, make sure you go watch that battle. Now, for week 2, we are going up against MysticUmbreon, coach of the Anistar Umbreons. MysticUmbreon is an MPL veteran. He was involved in some of the earlier seasons of the league, and he is just getting back into Gen 7 league action. I think this is his first league for Gen 7, or at least for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, as far as I can tell. He's been doing he has a very good following. He's a nice channel, and has been working a lot on Twitch content. And even as we speak right now, he is streaming. He is soft resetting for Shiny Chikorita. Hopefully we can battle in a few hours. I think like 2 hours from now we are scheduled to battle. But let's look at his team real quick and then hop on into the team builder. He has Tapu Lele, Mega Alakazam, Rotom Wash, Tyranitar, Chansey, Comfey, Entei, Haxorus, Garbodor, or not Mega Venusaur, just regular Venusaur. And finally he has Murkrow. So obviously, the big threats right off the bat are the double Psychic Core of Lele and Zam. It's extremely, extremely scary, and I just don't have great switch-ins to Psychic types, period. So having to deal with 2 Psychic types is pretty overwhelming. And so as a result, I've dealt with it, or I've created a pretty offensive team. And I do want to give a big shout-out to some folks in my front office, especially Josh, Ultra Player, and also Bronson, Omega Jolteon, and Tyler, Pantabase, and The Confusion for all giving me lots of good tips for this battle. But yeah, that's one of the biggest threats on his team. Also, just some annoying stuff on his team. Murkrow is very annoying. Murkrow completely destroyed me in a mock battle that I had. I got 2 mocks this week, one from Narth Vader and one from Jake. So thanks to both of you guys for helping me out. I really appreciate it. But yeah, Toxic Splice plus Priority Roost from Murkrow just blew me back. It was kind of outrageous. It was really outrageous. I just couldn't deal with it, and so I had to change up my team quite a bit. I originally had like a sticky web strategy, and trying to use that with like an SD Charizard to deal with his team. But it was too difficult to get off because I wanted to get rid of Toxic Spikes, but then I couldn't keep up the webs and whatever. So we got a different team, and again, it was constructed in part by my front office, so thanks to them. In terms of rockers, I think it's more likely that we see Chansey than Tyranitar, because Tyranitar is pretty weak to the majority of my team. Like Braviaries, Serp, Greninja, Metagross, Donphan, Slurpuff, Buzzwole all get dealt with fairly well. But they all deal with Tyranitar fairly well. So I think Chansey is a little bit more likely as a rocker, and Chansey is just very annoying because it can take hits from basically anything. Like even I had a Adamant Buzzwole set with Substitute that I was going to bring for, versus him potentially, but it didn't even 2-shot Chansey, which is crazy. The idea with the Buzzwole set is that I can set up a Substitute on a Seismic Toss, it won't break it, and then I'm have a pretty safe sub in front of Chansey. It can't Toxic me, it can't do stupid stuff versus me, and I basically collect a kill on something on the team. Because like if he wants to break my Substitute on Chansey, it means he can't go for soft boiled, and I would eventually wear him down. But I couldn't make room for the Buzzwole set. It's just too weak to the Psychic types, and the sets that I have otherwise are much better at dealing with Chansey. So yeah, that's kind of my analysis of the team. It's definitely funky because it doesn't have some sort of standard typings, I guess I would say. It doesn't have any steel types and doesn't have any ground types. So we're going to sort of exploit that in this match. And without further ado, let's break on into this team builder. First mon that we're going to be bringing is our Braviary with a Titanium Z. So this mon is going to be used for luring in Rotom mainly. If we can get Rotom to about 50%, we can very easily deal with it with the combination of Charizard and Metagross. Then we'll get to those sets when we get there. But that's the main thing we want. That is why we're packing Titanium Z. We can bring that thing in because obviously he's going to want to switch in on Brave Bird. We can go for Brave Bird and follow up with the Superpower. I'm kind of doubtful that he's going to bring a lot of speed on his Rotom, but we are outspeeding at least a max speed Jolly Tyranitar with this spread. So I'm hoping that he brings like a full fist F1 and we can outspeed it and hit it with the all-out pummeling. and that would be really good for, again, for weakening the rest of my team. Braviary is also just nice in general versus Tyranitar and Chansey. I wouldn't mind burning my Titanium Z versus those two Mons, because they're pretty annoying, especially Chansey. If I can prevent rocks in any way, that would be really super. And otherwise, like, this is here for gaining momentum with U-turn. A lot of my team is based on gaining momentum, because I think his team is a little vulnerable to it. Because, yeah, like, he has some... He's going to be wanting to pivot around versus my team, I think, quite a bit. Especially, you know, just with Mons like Chansey and Venusaur, like, pivoting is the name of the game. So I'm hoping I can take advantage of that and get into good matchups. And then also Defog is important if he wants to set up Toxic Spikes or anything like that, because that is definitely annoying. So next Mon, this is my lure for Chansey, and shoutouts to Ultra Player, aka Josh, for coming up with this set. This is a mean look Superior with Taunt, Leech Seed, and Leaf Storm. So it should be fairly easy to get the Chansey in versus this thing. If I get Superior in on Rotom, if I get it in on Tyranitar, if I get it in on, you know, anything like that, the Chansey should be coming in. And like, I'll be especially comfortable with this if the Venusaur is not on the squad. I think there's no way he brings Chansey and Venusaur, because they're both sort of redundant. They're both checks for Superior and Circuitry. And Chansey just kind of does the job better. It has rocks, and like, it's a little bit less vulnerable to stuff like Zard and Metagross, I guess you could say, because it's fat enough to take unboosted hits from Metagross and Charizard. But anyway, we bring that in. We bring the Superior versus Mon that it threatens out. We click Mean Look as the Chansey comes in. We click Taunt to prevent it from going for Toxic or for Rocks. And then we go for Leech Seed and watch that thing slowly die over the course of 8 turns. So doing that, actually, like, the combination of Leech Seed and Leftovers heals more than what Chansey can do in return with Seismic Toss. So we should be able to keep a 100% HP Superior up, and then we can go for Leaf Storm, get to +6, and we are pretty much guaranteed to get at least one more kill, because the set that I have here is actually very bulky. I have enough speed to, or sorry, enough special attack to kill a max defense Garbodor at +6 with Leaf Storm after Rocks, I think. But otherwise, the rest is into bulk. I think it's only like 150 EVs into special attack or something like that. So if he wants to try and revenge kill me with Zam or a Scarf Lele, I'm going to be basically full. They're not going to be able to hit me hard enough in order to do that. And that's going to put us in an extremely good position. If he doesn't have Venusaur, if he only has Chansey, and he only has one of Zam and Scarf Lele, we will basically 6-0 him with this spread. I guess he could have the combination of Scarf Lele, or no, he can't have Scarf Lele plus E-Speed, because the Psychic Terrain is going to prevent the E-Speed from Entei. I was going to say Entei could potentially get the last couple % damage off on me, but not if he's setting up Psychic Terrain. So he's going to have to be very careful of that, otherwise he's not going to be able to beat me. But yeah, this set on its own, very scary, especially if he doesn't bring Venusaur, like I said. So let's go to the next Mon, and that is my Circuitry. So he's very electric weak. He has 2 resistances, being Haxorus, which doesn't count, and then also Venusaur, which is fodder for my other things. He could also, like, you know, he's most likely going to be bringing in Chansey versus this thing. But again, my goal is to eliminate the Chansey fairly early on. And then the Circuitry is just going to be great because he's going to be having to pivot around on this thing. He cannot be leaving it in versus a lot of things, and I'll be able to gain so much momentum, even if I'm not landing one-shots with this thing. I was originally packing a Scarf set because, you know, fast Thunderbolt with the ability to get speed boosts is really nice from Beast Boost. Or not speed boosts, getting special attack boost is really nice. But in both of my mocks, I faced off versus a Scarf Lele, and that thing obviously outspeed Circuitry, so it felt like it was sort of pointless to run that. Basically, once I get rid of the Chansey, this thing can really just whittle his team away, especially if I have up Rocks, because he's just going to be switching hopelessly versus this Mon. So let's go to the next Mon. This is my Choice Scarf Greninja. U-turn Night Slash, Gunk Shot, Low Kick, completely physical this week. With enough chip, we can actually 2-shot Chansey. I think we do like 35 to 40% with low kick versus this thing. I originally had an expert belt set, and then I had a life orb set. Because Greninja just completely wrecks his team. It's actually wild. It was back when I was thinking of my web strategy. But without webs, I felt like I needed a safety net for Scarf Lele and also for a Alakazam that was, threatening my team. So we do have Night Slash and Gunk Shot for threatening those two Mons. And just in general, like if I can get rid of, let's say, Comfy and Tyranitar, Night Slash spam actually looks really nice in this matchup. So I think it could be potentially very threatening. But yes, mostly just to have a safety net. And also, having U-turn helps again with my momentum strategy. Just getting Chip over and over again versus his team. So let's go to the last two Mons. The first one, or I guess these last two Mons are my main win conditions. First is a Dragon Dance Zard X. Fairly standard DD, Roost, Flare Blitz, Dragon Claw. At +1, he doesn't have anything that can revenge this. We do have enough speed for Jolly Haxorus with this, so yeah, there's nothing he can run that outspeeds. And we put enough attack investment on this thing that we can two-shot Chansey if it's at full when we get a +1 boost. I don't know the calcs off the top of my head versus like T-Tar and Rotom and things like that, but I assume it does at least 50% as well. T-Tar is not as much of a worry for me. Like, it's so pressured by my team, I don't think that he's going to bring it. And if he does bring it, there's no way it's going to remain at full HP. And Rotom, I have specific ways to weaken. So if I can get it to like 50% or so, Dragon Claw can probably take it out pretty easily. I think Dragon Claw probably does like at least 35 to 40% from neutral, which means it'll do over 50% at +1. But yeah, he has no answers for this. At +1, it completely decimates his team. So that's looking really nice. And then last but not least, I do have my X Gonna Give It To Ya, my Metagross, with Rocks, Rock Polish, Meteor Mash, and Zen Headbutt. Pack in a weakness policy. Careful nature to take Shadow Balls as well as possible from Tapu Lele and Zam. If I get Chansey weakened and I get Rotom to 50%, a +2 speed, +2 attack Metagross literally wins. It one-shots basically everything on the team. Like, this is the problem with MysticUmbreon's team. He does not have a Steel type, and so I'm able to just run my dual stabs here, and it should plow through his entire roster. He doesn't have anything that can outspeed my spread. I outspeed a max speed Scarf Lele by 1 point. Unless he's packing Babiri Berry on a certain Mon, or a what do you call it? A Pyapa Berry. That's the psychic reducing berry. Unless he's packing one of those, he doesn't have a chance. And even then, like at +2, like Zen Headbutt at +2 should kill like a Pyapa Berry Garbodor. And what is Garbodor doing in return to Metagross anyway? Like, so it doesn't really matter. It's just an example. And like Babiri Berry Comfy, for example, what does that do in return to me? Like, I'm so bulky with the spread. There's no way he's going to be able to lure me and survive a hit and then kill me back in one shot. It's not happening. Like maybe Entei, but Entei, I think after Rocks dies to +2 Zen Headbutt. And I think this is going to be my main win condition. If I can't get up Rocks, it's not a big deal. Like, this is my only Mon with Rocks this week, but most likely, like, versus unless I bring this in versus something like Chansey, I don't anticipate getting up Rocks this game necessarily, because like if this is in versus Lele or Zam, they are gonna go for Shadow Ball versus me, and I am gonna click Rock Polish, like, period. So I hope I can get to a situation versus one of those two Mons, and I can click Rock Polish. Because I have such SpDef investment, I can pretty easily take a Psychic plus a Shadow Ball, or I can take, I can take some combination of moves. It shouldn't bring me to 0. So that is the game plan this week. Hope you guys are looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a really exciting match, and we do play in about 2 hours or so, I think. So the battle, you guys will see it going up about the same time tomorrow. And so make sure, if you are looking forward to that, you hammer that like button down below and drop a sub so you can stay up to date on all of the MPL action. And we do have an exciting announcement coming up in the very near future. that some of you guys might already know about, but I'm obligated to maintain my silence on. So look forward to secret announcements. And yeah, that's going to be it for now. Make sure you check out the channel for other gaming and Pokemon content. And until the next time, I'll see you guys later.